everyone, it's Lana from Lana Under Pressure, and in this video I'm going to show you how to rotisserie a chicken that's over 4 pounds in your instant Vortex Plus or Omni Plus. Now, one of the really frustrating things about the instant air fryer ovens is that on the rotisserie, the maximum weight that you can put is 4 pounds. So you cannot do a chicken or roast that's over 4 pounds. And that can be really difficult to find a chicken that's 4 pounds or under. And I get that question a lot, and it can be really frustrating. And usually what I would tell people to do is just go ahead and bake them on the rack and not put it on the rotisserie. But one of the great things about the instant Omni and Vortex Plus is that it has the rotisserie. So I found a way where you can take a bird that's much bigger than 4 pounds and trim it down so that you can cook it on the rotisserie and it still comes out perfect. So here I have a bird that's about 5.5 pounds, almost 6 pounds. And so what I found out that I can do is I can remove the leg quarters as one whole piece on each side, and then that makes the breast and the middle part of the chicken, the body of the chicken, way less than 4 pounds. And that way I'm going to rotisserie the body and I'm going to cook the leg quarters. Now you're probably thinking, but I don't want to cook the leg quarters separately. What, do I have to cook them in the oven? No, you can cook it at the exact same time that you're rotisserieing, is that a word, rotisserieing? Whatever. The body of the chicken, and it all is done at the same time. Everything comes out great and you still get the white meat, very juicy and perfectly done on a rotisserie. So now I'm going to show you how to take off the 2 leg quarters in order to get your chicken under 4 pounds. And you're going to take a sharp knife and you're just going to cut through the skin. And at this point you don't want to cut the meat at all or the muscle. You just want to slice the skin until it pulls away. Then what you're going to do is there's a joint that attaches the thigh to the body of the bird. And in order to make it easy to take that off, you're just going to press down and dislocate that joint. And once you've done that, you can just take your knife and cut right in between the joint to separate that whole leg quarter from the body of the bird. And once you do that, it's really easy to slice through. And there you go. You have one whole leg quarter. And I'll show you on the other side. And once again, you're going to slice just through the skin. Now you want to keep as much skin and fat on as possible, especially on the body, because that's where the breast is and that needs the most moisture. But so you're just going to slice the skin, press down, and you'll see the joint, and once you do that, it's really easy then to cut right through the muscle and in between that to remove the other leg. Perfect. So in this part, I like to use kitchen shears, but if you don't have them, you can use a sharp knife. And you're going to flip the chicken over, and now you're just going to go ahead and remove any of the neck or any parts that are might get in the way of the rotisserie. So if you have that part at the top, you're just going to go ahead and remove that. And you don't want to throw that away. And then you're going to remove the spine just by making cuts along the spine on either side. Now you're not going to do it all the way like if you were butterflying a chicken. You're just going to remove like 1/4 or 1/2 of it. And you're going to make sure, so all of these parts that you're removing, what you should do is keep them, put them in a Ziploc bag. I like to put them then in the freezer. And then once you have enough, you can go ahead and make a really great stock with it, especially in the Instant Pot. And so now the pieces of skin that are remaining, you don't want to cut those off. And I'm going to show you how to use those in a second. But you're going to leave those intact. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and truss it with our kitchen twine. And you're going to bring it around and up over and make a knot. And you want to pull that tight. Then holding on to the kitchen twine, you're going to flip the chicken over. And you're going to bring the twine back around underneath the chicken wings. and make a tight knot. And this helps to keep the chicken really compact when you put it on the rotisserie. Now, holding on to it, you're going to flip it again, and then you're going to make a tight knot over the top. And you'll see that this is a much easier way to truss it without having the leg quarters. So now the reason we're going to do this is because now we're going to take the chicken wings and we're going to tuck it under that kitchen twine. And this is really helpful because when you put the chicken on a rotisserie with the wings, sometimes they can touch the burner. So this keeps them really in place. Now, another good tip is you can go ahead and remove the wings as well. And sometimes I do that. And then you won't have to even worry about that part. Perfect. So now that it's trussed, we're going to go ahead and insert the spit. And a good tip is to put one of the forks on one end of the spit before you go ahead and put the chicken on. And so you go ahead and insert it through the top. And you want to make sure the forks are in there. Now, I like to also at this point go ahead and loosen the fork just a little bit, and then I can move it so that the chicken is more in the middle of the spit. Then you're going to tighten it again, and you're ready to use the other one. So now you'll take the other fork and just do the same thing and insert it on the other side. Make sure you kind of sandwich the two forks together tight and then tighten the screw. Perfect. Now at this point, the weight is really off balance because we removed the legs. So to fix that, what we're going to do is we're going to need to use a counterweight. And to do that, you're going to put the chicken breast side down, and then you're going to use half of an onion. You can also use a potato or an apple, and you're going to insert that, and that will add weight to the lighter side. And what I do to keep it in place is I just go ahead and fold the skin and use toothpicks to attach it, and that'll keep the onion in place while it's cooking. And just go ahead and use as many toothpicks as you need. But you'll find that the onion or whatever you use doesn't really add flavor, but it really helps so that when it's spinning on the rotisserie, it evens out the weight. So now you've done that and you're ready to rotisserie. So now your chicken is on the spit and you're going to spin it just to make sure again that the counterweight using that onion makes it balanced, which it does. And so at this point, you can put any sort of seasoning you want on it. I like to use a little olive oil and then I put adobo, but you can put really any seasoning. Make sure you do all sides, including if you're gonna cook the wings, but also the legs, both sides. And now we're gonna get it ready to put in our instant air fryer oven. Now we have the chicken ready, and you're probably wondering, what are we gonna do with the legs? Well, I'm gonna show you how you're gonna cook them at the same time as the rotisserie. So first you're gonna place a large piece of foil onto the bottom of the oven, and you want it to cover both bottom heating elements, and just use your hand to mold the foil around that. And then you're gonna press down in the middle to make kind of like a well or a basket with the foil. And that's where you're gonna put your leg quarters. So go ahead and place your leg quarters, and you want to push them over to the side because when the chicken rotisserie goes around, you don't want it to hit the legs. So just place them to the side and then you can reposition them later. Now you're going to place the entire bird in, and you're going to put the right side in first and then rest it. Perfect. So now you're ready to cook, and you're going to go ahead and hit roast, and you want it set to 400 degrees for an hour, and then press start. And if at any point you see that it's hitting the legs, you can stop it and just reposition them. Now, depending on the size of your bird, it may take a little less time, so you want to go ahead and check the temperature about 10 minutes before it's done. And there you have it, a rotisserie chicken done in the Omni Plus or Vortex Plus and you don't have to worry about that pesky 4-pound limit. So, I hope you liked my video. All of my recipes and my blogs are in the link below. Make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching.